All right. Who are real estate investors and what do they look like? You guys have all been to RIA probably. Think is another one. Ring. Those are the three groups here in the Richmond area that are good. You've probably been to two of them. You may not have been to Think. Think is one that only meets quarterly. Has a different feel to it than RIA and Ring. Maybe talks a little bit more about education in long-term Richmond, what Richmond looks like. And if you haven't ever gone to it, I think that's a great one to go to. Most active investors, 76%, are under the age of 55. So it is most investors are under the age of 55, but there is still a strong representation from 55 to 65. Don't see many, me personally, investors older than that, because if you've been an investor and you're 65, you probably want to sit out on the beach. You probably don't want to be in the RIA room or running out flipping homes like I'm doing. More than a third of active investors, 34%, make more than $75,000 a year nationally. All right, so it's a business and you have to grow your business, but there are a lot of people making a lot of money in real estate, and like a restaurant business that has a 5% success rate or something like that, where actually someone's making money, you can make money in real estate doing a lot of different things. 37% of active investors are high school degree or less. I think that's a really powerful thing. I'm a real believer in education. Personally, I am educated as an engineer at Virginia Tech. Go Hokies. Didn't really use that engineering education, but I've educated myself on real estate by doing probably what you guys are doing right here, going and listening to other people who have done it and trying to glean what I can from them. I love a house because you can be not very smart and you can figure out a house. It's really not very complicated once you've done it a couple times. That's, to me, the beauty of it. It's not a rocket ship. No one's going to blow up halfway through the sky if I make a mistake. Right? The worst that happens, I have a leaky faucet. And so for real estate, I think it's great whether you're young, whether you're old, whether you're educated, whether you're not formally educated. I think you can be wildly successful. And I think there are stories for all people involved in those. So in short, anybody can be a real estate investor. So you can be a real estate investor. I'm a real estate investor, and hopefully we'll have a lot of success together. All right. What is Real Estate Bird Dog Property Locator? So let's talk about a little bit about the bird dog specifically. So a bird dog is someone who helps a real estate investor find the properties. So the bird dog is a reference to, I believe it was the English who used to run out with their shotguns and shoot the ducks, and then they used to send the dog out to get the duck, right? And then that was the bird dog. They went out and they brought the duck. And the bird dog name comes from the idea is that you go out, you go into the community, and you find the deal. Hopefully you don't shoot anybody with a shotgun and get it done. But that's where the nickname bird dog comes from if you were ever curious. And so that is your job, and that's what we're going to try to teach you here today. You earn a commission from the investor's purchases of the property. So if you find it and someone buys it, that's when you get paid. And you don't get paid just to say I found a house, right? You know, so you have to go and you have to find a deal. And we'll certainly talk today about what a deal looks like and give you some specific data to help figure out, is it a deal or not? That's the number one question I get, is it a deal? Also, which is probably what a lot of you are doing here today, it's a great way to learn about real estate investing without risking any of your own money. So the bird dog is not at stake at all. You don't sign any contracts. You don't, you're not asked to go out and put the property under contract as a bird dog. As a wholesaler, you might be out putting the house under contract in which you are now contractually obligated to sign a house, in which can get a pretty scary thing. I remember my first house that I was contracted to buy was pretty scary, actually putting your name down on there. And if you don't know what a deal is and you're signing your name on something, that can be really scary. So the bird dog is a great way to go out. And once you find a couple houses and once an investor you know comes and buys that house, you probably know what? That it was a deal, right? And that's how you find out if it's a deal. You go find it, try to sell it to someone else who knows what they're doing, and then all of a sudden you know what a deal looks like. And you'll know quickly what a deal doesn't look like. No one's going to buy your deal. It's not a deal. All right. So that is what the advantages of being a bird dog are. There's no risk at all to you. The risk is with the investor that you give the bird dog to. So it's a great way to get feedback on whether or not you know how to find a deal or not, because you'd be surprised at what's a deal and what's not a deal. All right.